and it does have support within the committee. And particularly because of a moment in the NFC title game from last year, there was a messy series with the Commanders where they committed 4 defensive penalties in 6 straight tush push plays. And that was viewed as a really messy television product, and that has given the play some momentum, or the ban for the play some momentum here in Palm Beach.
Yeah, it's a good point to bring up that particular play that you're seeing on the screen right there. Thanks so much to Kaylin Kaler.
It's not a good point. It's one of the dumbest points ever. And I've talked about this. And I'm going to make multiple videos because I'm going to post this. I'm filming this Monday night, and then they're going to vote on Tuesday. I don't know when it officially be released and all that. So I'm going to post this, Tuesday morning, and I'll make another follow-up video after it's voted. But I was trying to find more clips for just in general, not like this specifically, and I saw this, and they want to use that, sequence of events in the NFC Championship game, and saying that was really messy and ugly, and it's just so stupid. And this was my original take when this all went down, when they were talking about banning it and saying that it was ugly television, and they were really concerned because of the NFC Championship game. Nobody was really talking about that. Nobody was up in arms. Nobody was like, this is such a bizarre thing, they need to ban this. But nobody was talking about that. But do you know what the ugliest thing was throughout the entire playoffs this past year? Without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt. It was the Kansas City Chiefs and Mahomes and all those issues. With him, roughing the passer, fake getting down, having Troy Aikman, Joe Buck, and the TV ref, the rules analyst or whatever, say, not a penalty, not a flag, not a flag, not a flag, and only to have it be flags. And have it fundamentally change the course of the game. That set of downs, that sequence of events, did not change the game at all. Did not impact the game for the Philadelphia Eagles or the Commanders. But the issues that the Kansas City Chiefs had and Patrick Mahomes and roughing passer directly led to the Kansas City Chiefs scoring a touchdown and fundamentally changing that game to the point where everybody was up in arms about it. Everybody. Troy Aikman, audibly angry. So if you want to say what's ugly and bad for television, look no further than there. Or against the Buffalo Bills, clearly getting a first down, only for them to not get the first down when they clearly did. And that fundamentally changed the game, changed potentially the outcome of the game, and changed potentially the Super Bowl. And you want to say that the focus should be on the tush push because of ugly television. Guys, that is the definition of nonsense. During this playoff run, if you said, what was the biggest issue in the playoffs that needs to change? You would say officiating, specifically plays like with Patrick Mahomes or other quarterbacks, but Patrick Mahomes is obviously the most famous. That's the number one issue that people would complain about. What were the two most controversial things that happened throughout the playoffs last season? Patrick Mahomes roughing the passer and the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills first down, converting the fourth down play, third or fourth down, whatever it was. Those were without a shadow of a doubt, not even up for debate. Those are the ones that everybody was freaking out about, that everybody was talking about the next, the day after and the day after and the day after. Having people go on the radio, on local media, wherever, YouTube. Rich Eisen, Colin Cowherd, ex-players, current players. Even after the games, you had head coaches for the Texans, the Bills, other players saying, well, we always know that it was good, that, it was going to be tough. We always knew, they literally come out saying, we knew it was always going to be hard, that we were going to have to go up against the refs too. I mean, that's literally what the coaching staff was saying. You don't think that that's ugly? That that's inflammatory? That that's not problematic for the NFL? That that's not the definition of ugly? And you want to say, oh my God, that one set of downs for the Eagles Commanders game when they were up like 55, or they might have not had 55 at that point, but when they were rocking the Commanders, this is ugly. This is disgusting. This is not the NFL. We need to change this play immediately. That's what you got to do. Do you understand that does not make sense? if they have an offseason where they ban the tush push, but don't change how these roughing the passers or how or converting, third or fourth downs are reviewed or delegated, whatever, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. Because we've had outcomes changed in the playoffs, not to mention regular season games. Sam Darnold having a face mask in his own end zone, having his head twisted around, and then them calling a safety on like a potential game-tying drive. And just no call, with the ref literally right there. Joe Burrow getting rocked. Absolutely his head knocked off. There was I forget exactly now, it was 3 or 4 different penalties that should have been thrown, flags that should have been thrown for the Bengals versus the Ravens that they didn't call. That would have changed the outcome of the game. The Bengals could have won, and if they did, they're in the playoffs. Changes everything. They're in the playoffs now. That changes everything. Everything. You realize that, right? The playoff order, everything changes. It literally rewrites history. And now you want to reference this being ugly television. The Eagles here are about to go up 42-23. 41-23. In the fourth quarter. 12 minutes ago. And that's a problem. And because that clown is diving over before they even snap. Huh? That was the ugly television. That was the ugly television. No, it was ugly watching the Bills versus the Ravens. Or watching, the Bills versus the Chiefs. Clearly seeing a team get the first down only to not have them get the first down. To have the TV ref say, yep, I expect this to be first down for the Bills. Oh, wow, they didn't. I find that surprising. To have multiple roughing the passer calls and having the TV ref and Troy Aikman and Joe Buck be like, these are not penalties. That's really ugly, bad television. Having Colin Cowherd on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday need to have multiple takes on multiple days talk about, is Patrick Mahomes being officiated differently? Having to defend the NFL's rules and referees and all that stuff. Having to unpack the coaches for the Bills and the Texans talk about the officiating. No, that's ugly. That's bad. That makes you actually not want to watch the games. Having no holding penalties, in any of the Chiefs' Super Bowls. That makes you think we're not getting a fair shake here. You know what makes me want to turn off the NFL? Watching a football game and having you try to shove Taylor Swift down my throat. That I don't enjoy very much. That's actually pretty ugly television because I'm there for football. I'm there to watch these players play. Not celebrities. Do you think I care about who any of these players are dating? Do you really think I care who any of these guys are dating? Do you think anyone else actually cares? Or are we there to watch the games, the players play, and do awesome things? I think we all know this answer. And yet you want to have a conversation about what's considered ugly or bad optics. You think if you're at home watching a football game and you're watching the Kansas City Chiefs versus, insert any team, the Bengals, the Ravens, and you see a bad call go against the Bills or the Ravens, and then the next play, you see Taylor Swift dancing and cheering, you think that's good television? And then you cut to a commercial break, and you see the first commercial with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid doing Fumblerski or whatever the nonsense they do, and then the next commercial is Travis Kelce trying to sell us God knows what, and then the commercial after that is like a Taylor Swift commercial. You think that's good television? You think that doesn't drive people crazy? You think if we polled, what would people have more complaints about? The tush push, a play that's run like once or twice a game? That's the problem? That's the problem? It's just so dumb. It really is. It really, really, really is. And it's just so absurd. And to use this series as a way to be like, guys, this was so ugly. We just can't ever have this again. You don't think missing a first down that changes a playoff game, a conference championship game that actually changes legacies, legacy defining? You don't think that that's really bad? Having a quarterback clearly not be roughed, but giving him a 15-yard penalty and a first down, instead of a punt, it's now a first down that then leads directly to a touchdown? But this? Unreal. We've lost our minds. We've lost our minds. You start changing all of those other things that make the NFL legitimately ugly and a problem, and then ban this. But do those other things first. Do those other things first, because those actually matter. Those actually matter. It's like saying, I'm trying to change the world. We must, we must, put billions of dollars in fixing potholes. Yeah, I want that too, because it messes up cars and, is obnoxious. But maybe put those billions of dollars in, like, I don't know, like homelessness or like, healthcare or like, just child hunger. Like, don't tell me you're trying to change the world and it's all about that, but then you're like putting it in potholes. Like, yeah, that's a list. That's sure. That could be like number 10 on the list or something, but like, what about all these other things? Like, maybe we should focus on the things that really matter and have like a measurable impact on the world, rather than just like, we got to fix the potholes in North Dakota. Yeah, that's definitely a problem. And North Dakotans definitely really want that fixed, but like, feel like there's about 3 or 4 other things that we could put our time, energy, and resources in. But you want to have a whole campaign on fixing the potholes in North Dakota. That's essentially what you're doing with Tush Push right here. And y'all just look like a bunch of clowns at this point. The people that are involved in this. Not you who are watching. You who are watching it, you're awesome. But it's just ridiculous. Like, right, like, again, this is what the coaches, GMs, and owners are discussing when you think about it. Like, this is what they're discussing. Out of all the things that they could be discussing to try to fix, to make this game better, safer, whatever, more entertaining, this right here. Oh my God. The insanity of it all is quite hilarious. And just ask yourselves this. If the Kansas City Chiefs had this play, would they do it? Would they do it? Would they call it, especially because we know Travis Kelce would be pushing it, would they make it some weird Taylor Swift name? where they praise Andy Reid's genius for understanding the rules better than anyone else, and Travis Kelce's just strength, and seeing Taylor Swift dance every time they convert a first down. What would they call it? The Swiftie Shuffle? Would it be turned into other commercials? Yeah, I think so. Would we see probably like State Farm commercials talking about it? Hey guys, State Farm's there for you, and it'll be Mahomes, and it'll be his O-line, and they'll be pushing him over, because that's what State Farm does, right? We push everyone and elevate everyone because we're a team. But it's with the Philadelphia Eagles, and so it's just really bad. Okay. Got it. I'm glad I know the rules. I'm glad I know the rules. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about this tush, push, ban? It's expected to be hotly contested among coaches, GMs, and owners. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.